All right, I hope this all works. It's been giving me troubles, but what are we going to do? So, similar to Nelson News, I'll just go over some movie and I'm going to skip the TV show. I don't think it's that. There was a teaser for Peacemaker. It's all right, but there's not much else to it. So I'll go over that and then switch to Photoshop. I will color some drawings. That's nice, isn't it? I would think so. I certainly would. And I did. I thought it. Obviously, I'm here doing it. Nodex says hit the like button. And need I say more? I don't think so. So there we go. We'll move right along. I didn't put the jacket on because, jeez, I'm just not feeling great. Yeah, what else is new? But boy, I tell you, Pat's show, I I guess it gave me some energy to keep going. I don't know what else to say. But I guess I'll talk about that when I get to the Photoshop thing. So anyway, here's our first little story concerning the MCU and what may be in the works. And a good bit of it is not that surprising, and which lends credibility to the rumor here. So we'll see how this goes. Of course, I got to actually get to it. Avengers Doomsday leak. No, not that kind of leak. A rumor confirms X-Men versus Fantastic Four. A while back, they tried to tease this sort of thing when Fox was still its own studio. And, they'd had several X-Men movies. And so they had the rights to Fantastic Four. So they did that Fantastic Four stick movie that everyone hated. But they got the cast of that movie to pose for, I don't know, a Vanity Fair cover or some crap like that. And they did the same thing with that Dark Universe thing, which only had one movie, The Mummy or whatever. And but anyway, they did that. They put them all together, like, yeah, we're building our own Marvel universe over here, and no one cared. Yeah, it came and went. So now we're finally going to have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four together, except it'll be this new Fantastic Four. I don't know if they're going to bother with all their multiverse shenanigans of having past actors show up. I'm guessing Chris Evans as the Human Torch in the Deadpool movie was it for that, and that's probably good enough. So anyway, here we are at Cosmic Book News, of course. And Matt McCloy says we get more links about Avengers Doomsday, this time from an actor on the set who confirms the flick will involve the X-Men versus the Fantastic Four. If you happen to be a fan of the Secret Wars comics, the leak should come as no surprise. But Marvel is normally known for keeping secrets, well, not very well. Quite a few of these pretty much came true. A while back, there was like a buttload of spoilers and rumors about these films, and quite a few of them have already come out, and they pretty much played out what some of those suggested. Since then, things have had to change. They had the Jonathan Majors scandal, who was playing Kang the Conqueror, and they had built this whole narrative around Kang the Conqueror being their new Thanos. Then all of a sudden, well, the scandal happened, plus the movies he was in, Ant-Man most notably, and of course, none of the Disney Plus shows meant anything. And then his scandal happens with his girlfriend and all that. So then they had to instead of just recasting him, which especially with that character, they could have done that because he has multiple timeline versions of himself. And you just could have cast some other actor and just say, yeah, he doesn't look like that guy anymore. And that would have been fine. But they decided to scrap all of that and go for Dr. Doom, which I understand Dr. Doom is probably the more recognizable Marvel Comics villain. but you haven't laid any groundwork for him. He's just gonna show up, yeah. And he's the main villain of the Fantastic Four, but you haven't had any Fantastic Four up until just now, in July. So it's just it's saying, hey, this will be the new Infinity War and Endgame. It won't. The other movies all put together, lead up to it. It wasn't exactly completely mapped out. That's fair, but you have a basic outline of where you want to go, or at least know you're going somewhere. And whatever the original plan was, they had to, rearrange the deck chairs. So anyway, Alan Cumming is confirmed to be back as Nightcrawler in Avengers Doomsday. He's actually been one of the more vocal actors, as he has previously discussed his excitement about returning to the role after 20 years. God damn, it's been that long. Yeah. In a recent interview, Cumming reveals that his Nightcrawler of the X-Men takes on Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. So when he says, for comic book fans, this shouldn't come as a surprise, this is more akin to the latter Secret Wars. That was it Hickman? No, not Hickman. Yeah, I think it was Jonathan Hickman wrote that. Anyway, the one where it was all, they were all, the whole multiverse had collapsed into one planet and they were all battling for territory and stuff. Anyway, I'm doing it again. The X-Men film. I'm playing Nightcrawler again. I was learning stunts yesterday for some fight scene, and I just think, I'm 60 years old. 23 years ago, I played that superhero, he told BuzzFeed UK. I was kind of old for a superhero even then, and now I'm back doing it. And that, to me, is hilarious. Yeah, but you're going to be in all this makeup and stuff, so you won't look a day over 23, 6, 30, 38. Anyway, Coming continued, I'm sort of learning these fights, and I'm like, what? Who am I fighting with? And they said, you're hitting Pedro Pascal against the head or something. Whoops. But then again, maybe he's just kidding around, Cumming also said, following the casting announcement, isn't it nuts? I'm excited and amazed. It's been, again, 23 years since I was a superhero. I've had some makeup tests already for the role, but what's great about it was that before it was about 4.5 hours to apply it. But now it's only 90 minutes. Oh, wow. They've advanced on makeup technique, or they only needed to do a few little things and then they'll CGI the rest, probably. Before, all the tattoos were done by hand, he added. They hadn't decided on them before we started filming. Now they just stick onto my face. It's a game changer. I'm going back to being a 60-year-old superhero, and everyone seems really lovely. So, hey, look, it's Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Is that how it's going to be? I doubt it. What remains to be seen is, why does the X-Men battle the Fantastic Four? Well, if it's anything like the Hickman Secret Wars, I don't know. I mean, they were battling for territory and stuff, and some of them weren't really that aggressive about it. But then again, maybe they got a battle for the survival of their universe. It could be something akin to that. But I don't know if this is why are they fighting in Doomsday? So. But I get, really, Doomsday and Secret Wars, they're probably one and the same. One affects the other. So, yeah, it could be as simple as that. They see each other as threats to their different realities, and they start fighting each other over. Anyway, in the Secret Wars comics, the Beyonder, the original one from the 80s, gathers different groups of Earth heroes and villains on Battle World, promising the victor anything they want. The X-Men are there, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers. Dr. Doom is there with his team of villains. There are alien beings, and there is also Galactus. The confirmed cast also includes from the X-Men Patrick Stewart as back as Xavier, Ian McKellen as Magneto, Rebecca Romaine as Mystique, James Marsden as Cyclops, and even Channing Tatum from Deadpool and Wolverine as Gambit. Rumors also offer Famke Janssen back as Phoenix, Jean Grey. Yeah, yeah. See, the Channing Tatum thing, they were chasing a Gambit movie with him in the role, and it stayed in development hell until it finally died. And then, hey, for a goof, they decided to bring him in for the Deadpool Wolverine movie, except they dressed him in the actual comic book accurate outfit. But then again, Deadpool was always pretty much accurate to his outfit. And then Wolverine, they put him in the yellow tights. So I guess it all made sense. Making up the Fantastic Four also includes Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, and Eben Moss Backrack as the Thing. It seems they might have a tough time taking on the X-Men, though Mr. Fantastic's stretchy powers and Nightcrawler's teleportation powers could make for some cool special effects. Yeah, I guess. It's unknown if the female Silver Surfer or Galactus will be a part of Avengers Doomsday. Well, Galactus might be. But one of those rumors I was talking about, she doesn't survive the Fantastic Four movie. Yeah. But they could change that too. So anyway, there you go. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men. And whether that has any implications going forward, I don't know, because they're going to pursue the X-Men after Secret Wars for new movies to move ahead. And that's going to be an entirely new cast. It's going to have to be. The Pedro Pascal Fantastic Four will stick around unless the Fantastic Four movie bombs, which is possible. It's got some interesting things about it, but there's also some troubling things there that, it might not work out. But they're stuck with them for the time being, so they'll be the Fantastic Four for Doomsday and Secret Wars. All right, how about that? Huh? You're really excited? Yeah, you're all hyped and everything. You really want to see those movies, don't you? Oh yeah, they're really getting it right now, aren't they? Oh yeah. Pell says, "Hey everyone, hey Pell." Nodex says, "Howdy, Pell. I saw you and Mama B were becoming friends in the other stream. LOL." Oh, that's nice. Pell, LOL. Yeah, I appreciate her holding me to what she thinks are standards, but old Carm is so out of control right now. There is no helping him. If he was sober, I think he can see where I'm coming from. It's not him, but the actions I'm making fun of. Yeah, it's it's been an interesting magical mystery tour. And it just all of a sudden, who knew? Pell, she said I was a shut-in loser. I can't debate that truth. LOL. Nodak says, yeah, I'm guessing she would have given me crap too if I wasn't a mod. But if you were a rocker. Pell, if we believed like she does, we'd be lolcows too. It's really fun stuff to pass the time. I'm concerned for him on a real level, but that's something he needs to do to help himself. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing you can do. Nodak agreed. Pell, and I'll tell Carm to his face and explain. Not like I'm hiding from it. Pell, I like B too, but like every other woman IRL, she gives me shit. Well, maybe in that moment, she felt you needed some shit. Yeah. I did enjoy telling Bedabbler Network to get his can't get pregnant ass out of the chat. I hope that made him laugh. He was in, Karmic's chat? Well, I get, Karmic's probably earned a whole vignette or what have you placement on the Hackamania stage, you know? Hell, he might get invited to the next one, you know? It's something to think about. Anyway, Pell and Nodak, I saw that. That made me LOL. I'm sure he appreciated it too. Nodak, more like craptastic for, well, it's, yeah, there's reason to do suspect this might not work out. The retro future look to it and everything was kind of cool. And everyone makes a big deal about Pedro Pascal and all that. But he ain't the only one that's miscast. That whole cast, I don't think is right for it at all. And some of that's probably not been their fault. All those interviews they did about gender roles and the guy playing Johnny Stone. Well, he can't be the full opinions, and that's the whole dynamic between him and Ben Grimm. The thing, you know, they're like two brothers who break each other's balls all the time. That's the whole thing. Well, when the chips are down and everything gets serious, you know, they got each other's back. You know, I mean, this is all written by people who are extremely sheltered and can't deal with the outside world. They can't deal with it like a man. And no, apparently not. But then again, of course, it's always in the gender roles and everything. Men are just pieces of shit and don't deserve anything other than the scorn they will so rightfully receive. From Hollywood. Whatever. Anyhow, there we go. That was some chat. So now I will move in to the next exciting story. Because Marvel isn't everything. No, it isn't. Now there's DCU with Superman. Well, and here's another one that, had some amount of hope for, but, well. But anyway, we'll see. Warner Brothers saw early cut of Superman. The quote is, DC is in great hands. That would mean his hands. Yeah. Jay, I hope we did the right thing. Oh, we did. Yeah, we totally did. And what do you mean we? James Gunn's Superman just got another major vote of confidence from the top. Oh, so this is people from the inside of the company. So, remember the uppity ups in Warner Brothers. There's some different people now, but at the time, they all gave Batman versus Superman a standing ovation. So, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I know I liked the extended version, but it's still a flawed film. All right. Anyway, as Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group co-chairs Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca revealed on the Smartless podcast, because stupid podcast was taken, they've seen an early cut of the film and they're impressed. DeLuca previously said that James Gunn has crushed it. Good Lord, he broke the movie and destroyed it? When it comes to Superman, that it's so epic. Epic fail? And gave it 5 stars. Oh, he liked it. Okay, well, all right. DeLuca adds that DC is in great hands with a gun. It sounds like a logo or, a slogan, rather. Yeah. Anyway, I used to chase James as a producer. Wow. Jeez. When he did Slither and started with his low-budget movies. He's really unique, and I think DC is in great hands with the two of them, DeLuca said about Gunn and Peter Safran. We've seen an early cut of Superman, and I don't want to bury the lead. Okay, there's a lot of marketing about to roll out on the way to its release. Well, it's about time, don't you think? All we ever hear about is James Gunn's a genius, Isn't this guy playing Superman? Shouldn't he be out there saying, hey, I'm Superman, the movie's awesome, Well, anyway, but he really understood the assignment. Well, let's hope so. DeLuca continued, his heart's in the right place. His aim is true. And we're really excited about their new version of DC. Abdi added, yeah, James is great. Okay. Yeah. Now that's Jimmy Olsen, so he kind of looks the role, which is odd because they race swapped the character previously, and now he's this redheaded white kid again. But what are the odds he's gay? Well, he probably is. I don't mean the actor, maybe, I don't know, but the character. Of course, under the new rules, if he is playing a gay man, he has to actually be gay himself. I don't know how they test that. Well, yeah, okay. The hosts of the podcast also thought Abney and DeLuca were in charge of the DCU. What? They responded and clarified. Gunn and Safran report directly to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav. Yeah, they were kind of in hot water for a while, but I guess, what was the movie? I think Minecraft they get credited for greenlighting it, so that made them some money. They said, okay, you're good again. And but that not Kristen Bale, Pattinson movie, the guy who gets cloned over and over again or some crap in the future, whatever, it bombed and cost a lot of money. So things weren't looking so great for Abdi and DeLuca. But one movie that makes a hit, and suddenly you're gold again. Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, we actually have to stipulate DC reports directly to David Zaslav. We don't oversee it, but we're big supporters of Peter and James taking the job. Our advice when we were asked was it doesn't need another career executive. It needs a storyteller in charge. We were impressed with Pixar. They brought Peter Doctor. He's a Peter Doctor, who's a filmmaker in from the field to be chief content officer and preside over their slate of movies. Yeah. Well, the creative part is James Gunn, sure. But Peter Safran is, a career executive like you guys. So that's really all they needed was someone more in the creative realm to oversee those decisions. And Safran's got to figure out the money, do the math, count the beans, get the marketing crew up and running, stuff like that. Well, Superman is on its way for July 11th. And between the two, I think things still look more positive for Superman than Fantastic Four. So there's that. But I don't know. It's not that, James Gunn isn't capable. I just wouldn't have thought he's the guy to do Superman. But there's always a first time for everything. And perhaps, he'll prove everybody wrong. So there is that potential. However, he's done this before. He did Peacemaker. Yeah, Peacemaker's funny and everything, but that's not really Peacemaker. It works for Peacemaker because most people don't know who the hell that is, so it doesn't matter. So you sell him as this ridiculous, shitty Captain America type guy, and it's hilarious. And it all works out. You can't do that to Superman. Guardians of the Galaxy pretty much rewrote that too. But then again, most people didn't really know. I mean, there was it was a series recently doing okay with those characters, but it was very different. And even that's not the original Guardians of the Galaxy story. So, but with Superman, you can't change it that much. So, I don't know. I guess I'll actually have to see it to know if it's any good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I probably got to do. Yeah, there's no but after that. No, not really. I mean, how could there be? Pell, I just saw Superman 2, the Donner Cut in 2006. You just saw it in 2000. You went back in time and watched it in 2006. Some parts were good, but the ending was lame as fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wondered if that was supposed to be the ending. I mean, they had to use rehearsal footage and stuff because it wasn't finished. So I don't know. Uh, the spinning the world around, yeah, that was always going to happen because that was the means by which Lois forgets that Clark Kent is Superman, rather than the magical kiss that he gave her in the theatrical release of Superman 2. So he kisses you so hard you forget who he is. So anyway, he spun the world around again so Zod and company never reached Earth. Yeah, yeah. So Pell Brando was in it. You saw him give Soups his power back. Yeah, they changed that around too. And they'd shot those because they did the movies back to back, or were doing it, and eventually had to quit the production on the sequel and get the first one up and going. Meanwhile, Donner was butting heads with the producers. They didn't like each other, and it fell apart. And he was shown the door. And then Richard Lester came in to do the second one, or finish it and all this sort of thing. And so they changed direction. But with Brando, they couldn't get it because he expected more money for work he'd already done. And so they just had to redo scenes or change them around to where this time it was Superman's mother talking to him and not Jor-El. I mean, ultimately, there again, it's like maybe just recast. But it's Marlon Brando and all that, yeah. So anyway, Nodak, I'm sure the three actors that host Smartless were sure to give them hard-hitting questions with no fear of pissing off the guests that could hire them in movie. Yeah, yeah. Pell, maybe that'll be the first move I see since the first movie I've seen since COVID. Pell, the Donner Cut was released in 2006. So, yeah, I mean, I got it. I was just making fun of the way it was. Pell, also, Hackman and Zod never met. You mean they never went to bed together? They never. Yeah, they never met. Terrence Stamp acted his parts with films, and the Luther Zod scenes were camera tricks. Right. Okay. So, best of luck for this latest Superman. There's a lot about it. I don't like the costume. I think it looks terrible. The actor's fine. He looks the part and all that. And, the only thing I've seen him in was one of the, I think it was the Pearl movie, that the X trilogy. And, he was good in that. That's fine. But the movie overall is cluttered with its shared universe thing. It's perfectly fine to declare that there is a shared universe and little nods here and there, something on the news about some other thing happening in another city, whether it's Batman or whatever, and that sort of thing. And then you establish it later when they get to a new Justice League film, and you can bring in some of these characters that have been introduced in other movies. But here it's just all up front and crowding out Superman's own movie. It's just a matter of how much time and space do these characters take up. And hopefully it's to a minimum to give a chance for Superman to, have something to do in his own movie instead of just being a guest star in his own movie. Yeah. I don't think that's a good idea. Nodak, Doug loves to make fun of spelling mistakes. That's part of being, that's Hillary of Mr. Nailsin. It just is. I should be ashamed of myself. And, on some level I am, but just not enough anymore, No. Nodak, it appears I love to make spelling and typing errors. Well, there you go. See, everyone's happy. It all works out. It's all perfectly fine. Okay. Now I gotta go find. No, not that. No, no, not that. Anything but that. The next story. Uh, yeah, okay, I'll do this one. Um, I mean, you never know. Maybe it'll be something by really selling it. Yeah. Oh boy, I bet you can't wait to see what it is. It's the Teen Titans. Okay. Teen Titans live action and Teen Titans Go! Number 2. In development under Gunn and Safran. Well, look at that. Isn't that something? It's learned that James Gunn and Peter Safran are working on 2, count them, 1, 2, Teen Titans projects at the DCU with a live action Teen Titans and something new for the Teen Titans Go animated franchise, which I assume will have nothing to do with DCU. I guess this will fall under their Elseworlds brand. Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca, those guys, the co-chairs and CEOs of Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group, recently appeared on The Stupid Podcast, which is hosted by Jason Bateman. Oh, yeah, from Ozark and all that stuff. And he's Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett. As they were discussing Warner Animation Group, Arnett remarked he made Teen Titans Go to the movies playing Slade. And that's a good movie. Mike DeLuca chimed in. I think James and Peter are working on a live-action Teen Titans. And a new Teen Titans Go, I think, actually. What? Shouldn't you know? Now, this could have been something that's just been tossed around and say, yeah, we might get on that and do something with that while they're busy getting, well, the Superman film, Supergirl's movie, and the Green Lantern show. So they're doing that. And then this just might still be on the back burner, Abdy and DeLuca also had good things to say. Yeah, we saw that. They liked the Superman movie. Can you imagine them saying, well, I hope it does okay, but no. They're going to say it hits it out of the park. So a Teen Titans project was previously rumored to be coming to the DCU. But I believe this is the first time that it has become known something new is in the works for Teen Titans Go, which is a popular animated series that first aired on Cartoon Network starting way back in 2013, consisting of 11-minute episode stories. Episodes were then released in 15-minute fragments. Wow, they stretched an extra 5 out of that, or 4 rather. And it's gone through 8 seasons, with the 9th season said to be coming in 2025. Back in that bygone era we commonly referred to as the day, WB used to send us clips, which received millions of views on our YouTube. Oh, you mean the Cosmic Book News YouTube channel would get millions of views? Yeah, it was a popular cartoon. It has quite the following. I never cared for it, but to each their own, So it stands to reason they'd do another one. So in 2018, the Teen Titans Go to the Movies animated movie was released. It actually made over $52 million on a budget of around $10 million. Well, all right. That's nothing to snooze at. Perhaps Gunn and Safran are making a sequel. Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, this show. For the most part, the cast was pretty good. It wasn't that bad, especially this guy. But the crap they gave them to perform, well, it was crap. And it got crappier as they went, There was supposed to be this thing about her being cast as Starfire, but I mean, first of all, Starfire is an alien. I mean, they should have painted her orange, but that would be expensive, and you guys get all that. Of course, according to that, the Nightcrawler actor that's coming in the Doomsday movie, he says, "Boy, it's really easy on the makeup these days. It doesn't take as long." So, but then that's now. Yeah, I guess it was still tough back then. They didn't want to spend the money. Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, the live-action Titan series also aired for 4 seasons with 49 episodes. Yeah. From 2018 to 2023. The series featured, those guys, Will Gunn and Safran having rebooted the DC universe? With Gunn and everything. It's safe to say the live action Teen Titans project will be all new. Yeah, it will be. Um, and I suppose with Dick Grayson in there, it'll tie in with whatever they're going to do with Batman and that sort of thing, which of course dominated the this particular series. But of course, they couldn't have Batman in it. You know, they had a Bruce Wayne, and then they had some Batman, but only in a dream sequence, and he was all in silhouette and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But a couple of episodes, they did the one with Superboy and Crypto the dog. That one was actually pretty good. It's kind of an anomaly in the overall series, you know. Well, they'll have to do better than that, but it's a property that has a following. But the cartoon series will probably do way better as things are. And once again, it all depends on Superman not bombing. Then things like this might happen. But they'll do it as another series, I guess. Is that the deal? Yeah, not a film. Maybe. Well, whatever. Um, we'll see how that pans out. I'm sure maybe Donner, Terrence, Doug, Pellel. Maybe Crowl Royal will help. Oh, that wasn't intentional? Okay. Nodak, he ruined my joke. I spell mistakes on purpose and he reads it correctly. Sheesh. Nodak, now I messed up trying to explain my joke. I typed mistakes wrong on purpose, but then Doug read it correctly. Well, I'm an asshole like that. LOL, I had to reread it again to see it. My brain warped it too. Pellel, wasn't Robin and Teen Titans actually taken seriously? You mean in the comic books? Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the cartoon, the Teen Titans Go. I think that was all meant to be silly. No, that my son loved Teen Titans Go. Yeah, I think it had quite the following with kids, and yeah, if it makes some money, yeah, you make more of it. Simple as that. Pellel, my son, watched all that stuff too. Yeah. And Pellel, in Smallville, Green Arrow was the replacement for Batman. They didn't want Dark to be overshadowed. Oh, they didn't want Clark to be overshadowed. Yeah. Well, there's also, they're very protective of Batman because Batman is the big star of DC, and they were going to just keep him in the movies. You know, when Netflix did that Daredevil show, I thought, man, if Max wants to really capture anyone's attention, you do a Batman show on that level, and you'll own all this. But they can't do a Batman show because they're just going to be so protective of it, even though they own all this shit. Yeah. Anyway, it might not have worked either. It just depends. I mean, stupid Star Wars, they shit the bed with Last Jedi. Then they introduced Mandalorian and it caught on. Then they tortured and destroyed that as well. So if you had something like a Batman series on the level of what the Netflix Daredevil, not the current one they did, which was awful. I don't know. That might have taken off and you could actually have something to point to as a success for streaming. But it didn't happen. So, Nodak, Batman kills the Joker in the Teen Titans TV show. Yeah, he does. Although you don't see it. He just comes home and tells Dick, I killed him. and that was it. So, Yeah, that was the whole thing. And it was saying, oh, he killed Jason Todd like he did in the comics. But unlike the comics, this time around, Batman decided enough's enough. I'm killing that fucked up clown. That's enough kid gloves for that bastard. And it is the philosophical thing, that goes all the way back to Dark Knight Returns, where Batman wonders, how many people have I killed by letting that bastard live? And he's killed all of them by letting him live. You can make the, because he's just going to get out again, which he does. Yeah. Oh well. Of course, the other thing was the Joker in that story had gone catatonic and just sat in the chair and staring at the TV all day because Batman had retired. But then he comes out of retirement. So then the Joker's, oh boy, I can't wait to play again. So it's like, if you didn't want to kill him, you needed to hang up the cape for good. Because that's all the Joker cares about is messing with Batman. It's kind of a sick love story, Well, not kind of. It's sick. Speaking of disgusting and sick, what's this guy? It's Turd Face. Here we go. DCU overalls Clayface script ahead of 2026 release. Cutting it close, huh? So the DCU Clayface movie, currently in development, is getting a rewrite. Jeff Snyder first said Clayface was getting a page 1 rewrite. Oh, just one page? Oh, well, that's simple. Which means starting almost entirely from scratch. Oh, that's what it means. Well, that's a little more, isn't it? Now the Wrap reports that screenwriter Hussein Amini has been brought on board to write Clayface. Mike Flanagan previously wrote the draft, who was also interested in directing, but Flanagan is busy with the upcoming Carrie TV series. A whole TV series about Carrie. So it's just an entire, how many seasons will they do? Is it like a mini series where it's all one and done? And that away, it ends with the pig blood dumped on her and everything, and she kills everybody? Or is it just a whole series of her being made fun of in high school and her crazy domineering mother? And then I don't know how many seasons they'll go through. But by the time they finally get to the pig blood at the prom, the actress playing her will be pushing 40. And but hey, CGI will make it work. I don't know. Maybe it's just a one and done series, one season, which would be about, I don't know, 6 episodes, the way streaming is these days. Anyway, James Watkins is directing, who helmed Speak No Evil. Hussein Amini is also known for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Oh, man. 47 Ronin, didn't see that. Snow White and the Huntsman, didn't see that. Drive, yeah, I don't think I saw that either. Did I see it? Of course, there's probably more than one movie named Drive, Yeah. So anyway, previous details have said Clayface is rumored to be a horror thriller tragedy, which the lead protagonist is not expected to be portrayed as the notorious villain he's known as in the Batman canon. Well, then what's the point? It's also been claimed Clayface enters on a B-list act. Oh, centers. Yeah, why can't I read? On a B-list actor who injects himself with something to stay relevant, only to find that he can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking piece of clay. Well, that pretty much is, it's one of the stories. There's been several clay faces. And this guy is looking more akin to the original, which was just a guy in makeup. He didn't shapeshift or anything. And for a while, it was rumored that would be a part of, or for the Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson and all that. because it's supposed to be grounded in reality and whatnot. So a guy who just puts on makeup would fit in with that sort of thing, which they could have done, but apparently they're not going to do that. Anyway, Matt Reeves is on board as producer along with Lynn Harris. Clayface appeared in Reeves' executive produced Batman the Caped Crusader animated series and James Gunn's Creature Commandos animated series, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the same Clayface you'll see in the movie. It could be a different guy because, again, there's been several Clayfaces over the years in the comics. Gunn has also said the Clayface movie is set in the DCU. And they could just say it's this guy was a Clayface and then he dies at the end and it doesn't matter. Or will they have a cameo from their Batman and have they cast him yet? You know, that's kind of important if you're going to do that. Or it could just be a guy in silhouette again, you know. Exciting news out of DC Studios today as Clayface, a DCU story from a script by Mike Flanagan, has been officially greenlit, tweeted Gunn back in December. But oh, what a few difference a few months make. It's also been reporting has been reported that the film is a low budget horror movie with a budget of around $40 million. Well, that's cheap in these days, you know. Recently also saw the DCU news that the Sergeant Rock movie has been canceled. All right. Oh, yeah, that was the one they wanted Daniel Craig for it, and then he bailed. Maybe that's what killed it. I don't know. Well, there you go. They got to suddenly rewrite it, and they had to get another writer to rewrite it. Huh. Well, that could mean anything. Like the first one they looked at it, this is crap. Why did we pass on this or green light this? I don't know. So then they get this other guy. Can you fix this? And he's like, okay. So he does. Or maybe I don't know. It must be the other script was bad. That's all I can think of because I don't think it means that's an absolute clue that Batman will be in the movie. No, why would it? You know? I mean, they could just tell the other guy, hey, could you write an extra scene where Batman shows up at the end? And he's like, yeah, all right. That's all you got to do. Why make it so hard? Why? Because Hollywood likes it hard. Pillel, not as sick of a story as Karmic and Task. Sorry, Mom, I had to. Well, it's just this whole. Yeah. Pillel, Drive with Ryan Gosling was good. But is it the same movie, you think? I mean, what am I thinking of? There was a movie that there were like a couple of movies with the same name, but like only one of them was good. Anyway, I'm never going to remember with my, senility setting in. Nodak, why would Clayface need 2 rows of teeth? I don't know. I guess he was watching The Thing and he decided to do that, just kept making teeth while he's in the midst of shifting and change. I don't know. Or it helps him digest more. You know, he was having a lot of problems being regular and everything and just having these, solid bricks. And he was tired of pushing that out. So with the extra teeth, it really grinds up the food to where it's virtually nothing by the time it goes through, his plumbing. Oh, geez, I'm almost out of a drinky poo. So it could be something like that. But it seems like, well, that's like an extra. I mean, the teeth on the outside have to be utterly useless, right? They're just there for show. I don't know. I doubt they thought it through. They just thought, man, this look cool. He's got extra teeth and he's like, that kind of thing. That's all it is, really. It's an aesthetic. And he probably thinks it looks cool. And, but that's kind of a subjective thing, I got an extra roll of teeth. What do you think about that? And everyone's like, ew. So, I'm like, well, okay. That didn't impress him at all. I was hoping it would be cool. I worked so hard on this extra row of teeth, I even grew some on my shoulder. And then you laugh at it. You just mock it. Stealth Chaos. Stealth, you've been up to things, haven't you? Thank God, Doug. Finally a sane person on YouTube. Oh, good Lord. That, you mean me? Well, it's the end of the world now. Bell says, hey, Stealth. Stealth Chaos says, hi, everybody. Hi, Droogs. So anyway, there we go. Everybody's acquainted. So, I already got it set up. When did I do that? Must have been in between reading the chat. It's amazing where the mind can go. And sometimes it's absolutely horrifying. Speaking of horrifying, let's get away from all these idiot superheroes and stuff like that. I mean, they can't even figure out what to do with their capes and tights anymore. But in the world of horror, we have another shared universe, which is probably the only other one besides Marvel, which is no longer successful. But theirs was, because it's simple and cheap. I want you to remember that when you're thinking about making your shared universe. The Conjuring Last Rites reveals first look, brings franchise to a close. Well, not exactly. It does bring these two to a close. So, who started it all? So, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, they did this featurette. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. I'm not going to make it easy for you. It's more of them saying, well, they've been doing these since 2013, I think. And they're like, oh man, I can't believe it's been this long, and all that sort of stuff. And they're, well, we're having to say goodbye to each other. I can't believe I won't be working with them again. Blah, 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 all that. But you did get a few snippets of from the movie, like this one. She said, it's okay, honey. I'll still eat it. It's a disaster. The final chapter in the Warren story, The Conjuring Last Rites, hits theaters September 5th. It marks the end of a 12-year run for Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren. This installment centers on the Smurf family. No, Smurl. Haunting and introduces the adult version of their daughter, Judy. Warner Brothers has released a first look at the final movie in the franchise with images and details. So there they are doing their lecture thing like they do in pretty much all the movies. And they're doing it again here, Yeah. But for the last time. Yeah. Wilson and Farmiga are done with the Conjuring franchise. They're moving on with other projects. I wonder what else they'll do. Yeah. But their connection to each other and the series runs deep. Oh, really? You think these two... That would be kind of sweet, though, if they met on the set and they got married and all that, wouldn't it? But they're probably already married to someone else, damn, if only I'd known. Yeah, well. Their chemistry and shared history anchor last rites. Making it less about demons and more about closure, both for the characters and the actors. I think that's why when you say, can you imagine it being over? I actually can't imagine it, really, because of her, Wilson filled in ew.com. It really meant the world to me. I didn't think we'd be doing this for 12, 13 years. Normally you don't, Normally, the movie might be sort of okay. The second one sucks and it bombs and it's over. That's usually how that goes. Or the first one never makes it. And maybe years later, people look at it and think, it wasn't that bad. And you're like, yeah, well, that kind of thing. But no, this took off, Yeah. I only know this because I have a shirt from running a race in Wilmington. It says 2012, which is when we shot the first one. So, yeah, I get emotional. I can't imagine not doing a movie with her. No, they really did have a connection, didn't they? Anyway, set in 1986. I remember that year. Last Rites picks up 5 years after The Devil Made Me Do It. Ed and Lorraine are mostly retired. Still giving lectures, but no longer chasing spirits. They gave up the bottle, huh? Oh, you mean the demons. Until they get pulled back in to one of their most well-known cases, the haunting of the Smurl family in Pennsylvania. The Smurls reported years of intense supernatural activity in their home. This included everything from strange smells, ew, and ghostly voices, to physical assaults, ew. The case attracted national attention and plenty of skepticism. Well, yes. Last Rites dramatizes. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Hey, this is the true story of Ed and Lorraine. No, it isn't. It's just way cooler when you make stuff up and stuff, you know? It just is. With Rebecca Calder and Elliot Cowan playing Janet and Jack Smurl, while the supporting cast rounds out the extended family. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, it's Dr. Harley Quinn. Judy Warren, previously seen as a child, is now portrayed by Mia Tomlinson. Judy's role is central this time, not just as a character, but as an emotional anchor for the Warrens. Well, she's their daughter. She's introduced with her boyfriend, Tony. I bet Dad doesn't like Tony, played by Ben Hardy, which adds a meet the parents angle to the supernatural storyline. Oh, yeah. Her inherited psychic sensitivity from her mother raises the stakes and deepens the family dynamic. So Tony's got to get used to her psychic powers and stuff and wondering, I really want to keep dating this girl. But then they'll become the new Warrens, and that way the franchise can continue. So they'll go hunting demons and stuff, you know, probably. The filmmakers decided against an over-the-top demon-filled finale. Instead, director Michael Chaves, or Chavez, maybe? I don't know. And producers James Wan and Peter Safran. Hey, he's the DC guy. And James Wan, he did Aquaman. And Patrick Wilson was Aquaman's brother. Anyway, they focused on a personal, character-driven story. It's not about bringing back every ghost in the franchise like an Avengers Endgame, which... would be kind of funny if they did, though, you know? Like they all break out of that room they keep all the demons in, you know? Anyway, it's about reckoning with the past and what it means to let go. Flashbacks to a younger Ed and Lorraine, played by Orion Smith. Really? And Madison Lawler give context to their long relationship. At the same time, the movie reflects on parenthood, aging, and legacy. These ideas resonate through Judy's arc and the toll this life has taken on the Warrens. The beating heart of this franchise is Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson playing Guess Who? Ed and Lorraine, one who directed the first two films, told ew.com. The family dynamic, the faith the characters have, and the faith they have in each other are really the things that drive this particular franchise. I do think that's what people love about it. Well, that and all the cool effects and creepiness and stuff, that's usually what you expect in a horror movie. At least for me and Peter Safran, it's really about finding a way to tell the stories of these characters and to wrap them up in a way that feels respectful to where we started with them. I guess that's Orion Smith. He kind of looks like Tom Holland, doesn't he? You know, and I don't know who. Oh, she's the what was it? Madison Lawler. That's pretty good casting just from this. It's not that great of an image, but she does kind of look like she could grow up to be Vera Farmiga, you know? So, yeah, pretty good casting. Anyway, though this is the end for the Conjuring movies, I don't think so. Because remember, they had all these spin-off movies that didn't even feature the Warrens. So they probably won't call it The Conjuring Part 3 or 4 or whatever, but it'll be something else, you know, like, The Nun, they did that. Then Annabelle, well, they did 3 of those, I think. And what the hell? There was the La Llorona or whatever. Stuff like that, you know? They can do play. I think they're supposed to do a Crooked Man movie. So, yeah, that kind of thing. Anyway, Max is doing a streaming series set in the Conjuring universe. So there you go. No further details are available other than Juan and Saffron are producing. There's also talk of future stories. Well, there you go. Future stories set in the Conjuring universe. But Wilson or Formiga won't be part of them. Well, that's what I just said. Didn't you hear me? Anyway, New Line has teased that Last Rites is the end of phase 1. Oh, so this is their end game. Yeah. Leaving the door open for a phase 2. But for now, this movie is the last stand for the original characters. So I'm guessing, yeah, if any connection would continue, the daughter and her boyfriend will get married, and then they'll go ghost hunting and stuff. Not that the original daughter, the original, the actual daughter of the Warrens went on to do that. But it doesn't matter because all of this is a fictionalized version of these people. So Conjuring the Last Rites aims to end the saga on a thoughtful note, grounded in the same family themes that made the original film stand out. In 2013, well, it was the clapping hands in the dark that kind of did it, you know. Yeah, I went, you know, like that. Yeah, that's more what today, yeah. But it helps that they liked each other and were nice and everything. Anyway, for the actors, it's a goodbye. For fans, it's a final chapter that ties the series back to its roots: faith, fear, and family. Wow. See, it's more profound with the alliteration. Yeah, yeah. Which Marvel villain should appear in the MCU? He did Mephisto. It's the only option. There, I voted, see? Where do I get my sticker that says, I voted today? I don't get one. It never shows me the results. Now I'll never know if it was worth anything. Yeah, who am I kidding? I know it wasn't. But anyway, I've enjoyed the Conjuring movies. I mean, they're pretty repetitive and all that. But yeah, I'll watch this one, you know, and probably the show. Yeah, probably the other ones. And okay, I'm a sucker. That's it for the Nelson rating stuff. So I'll read some chat and then I'll move on to a photo shop to color the task drawing. Stealth Chaos, Doug is the best. Well, all right. I'll just take that. Nodak salutes Stealth. Stealth says, back in a sec, boys. I need some fresh air. Yeah, I know. Boy, these articles, oh man, really sucks all the oxygen out of the room. A. Thompson. Oh boy, A. Thompson. What can I say? He says, hey, Doug. Hey, A. Thompson. Fellow Ed and Lorraine are from here in good old Connecticut. Yeah, well, the Smurl story took place in Pennsylvania. Wasn't there? Well, there was already a movie called A Haunting in Connecticut about the house that used to be a morgue or something like that. I did see that one, but it, based on a true story. So anyone can do it. So I guess, I don't know if I'm assuming maybe the Warrens did have some involvement with that. And they just, someone already did the story and they weren't going to bother with it. The other one being, of course, Amityville Horror, which, they had the 70s movie. And there's been several movies done on that story, but it's the original is the only one that really matters. And Ed and Lorraine were involved in that. But they only mentioned it and showed like flashbacks to when they were doing it. But they never made it a part of the Conjuring thing. And I suppose you can go back and forth. Why shouldn't they? But I guess it was just one of those things. It's too obvious. Move on. So, yeah, that's what they did. A. Thompson, I have an idea for you. Get a large bottle of Crown Royal, the link from KB, and await further instructions. Stealth and I will have you monetized in no time. Apparently, that's the thing. That is the thing. Yeah. but I don't drink. So, oh boy, it's just not happening for me. Pale Ale Crown Royal equals Liquid Demons. Yep. Yep. Pale Ale, my mom went to one of their lectures. Oh, wow. Yeah, really. Yeah, to see one of them. Yeah. Pale Ale, the way I've been farting, you'd think it's haunted here. Those strange smells, you know. Are you sure you farted? Are you sure it wasn't one of them? Nodak LOL. Stealth Chaos at A. Thompson. Good to see you in lovely Doug's stream. It's going to calm you down. Well, one can hope. Nodak, where are all these movies based off the movie? Oh, were all these movies based off the movie Cabin in the Woods? Well, according to Cabin in the Woods, yes. All of them are controlled by those people because they got to feed the devil. If they don't, he breaks out and destroys everything. Pale, yes, it was in Southington in my aunt's neighborhood. Wow. It was a funeral home where the bodies were abused. Right, yeah. That actually was a creepy movie. It's not bad. Haunting in Connecticut. So that's another one where probably if they hadn't done, I think there was actually 2 movies based on it. One that nobody cared about and the other one that did okay, which is probably the one I saw because it wasn't that long ago. But the idea that it was recent and whatnot is probably more to the reason why they decided, yeah, we're not going to cover that one for The Conjuring. You know, we might make mention of it, but you know, like I said, Amityville Horror, same type of deal. Well, someone beat us to it, so what are you going to do? Why'd they have to get it? There we go. Oh, I've done it like this. It's like this and like that, and it's like this and like that, and is that? Yeah, there it is. So I don't even need to go to break. I should go to break, but well, I've got bottled water. I can drink that instead. All right. So the news articles on movies segment is now completed. Yes. And now we'll just get to some boring details that no one wants to hear about at all. What the hell is going on with Carmix? Well, he's been streaming, and he said, I got to stream a lot to get those hours up to get monetized. And he's way more dedicated to this endeavor than I could ever hope to be. And I'd be dead by now if I tried to do that. So he's a younger man, so he's capable, you know. And so, all right, fine. And he gets on there and talks about whatever the hell he wants, and does like to drink quite a bit. And I guess that was just the flavor, you know. Well, at first, things went awry. Seemingly, we get very upset, and I thought it all had to do with Melton sniping his channel. Now, as I recall it, I've said this ad nauseum, but I happened to catch Melton's stream, and it was towards the end. It was almost all over. I remember he was doing something that was actually pretty damn funny. I don't think it was more of the crazy bitches getting arrested thing. Those are pretty good too, though. But anyway, it was winding down, and he said, all right, I'll look to see what people sent me in the email. So someone sent him, they'll email him clips of other videos and or live streams. And in this case, one of them was Karmic's. So he puts it in there, and is not entirely, aware of who Karmic is or what have you. At least it didn't seem that way. And was going off on me and saying, well, this is boring. This guy seems stupid and all this sort of stuff. And was making fun of his haircut or whatever, that sort of thing. after a while, of course, it becomes obvious the Melton chat entered uh, Karmic's chat, and then Karmic is actually seemed kind of excited. He said, "Oh, it's a raid," and he realized they came from Melton, and so he said, "Oh." So he said, "Yeah, I had some choice words about you, sir, and all this stuff, uh, probably about Pat Dixon and stuff like that." Which is a reasonable assumption since it would have been, I think it sounded like it was a recent stream he had done. So he seems, oh, this must have gotten back to Melton and now he's, looking at my stream. Well, Melton says, am I supposed to know what the fuck he's talking about? So, he was not enthused with the guy and that sort of thing. But that was about the totality of it. It wasn't, uh, the roasting and reaming he's done to other channels and stuff. Really, rather mild, And then he moved on to whatever else was sent to him to look at before the stream. So I didn't think much of it, but apparently, and maybe there was more to it later or something. But then, Karmic was pissed off at him and doing another stream. So this started a whole new thing. And so Melton's like, well, looks like we found a new star, And so there you go. So this goes on. And I thought, well, he was drunk that night. And, maybe he'll kind of wake up and think, oh, boy, I really lost it there. But, shit happens and, you can kind of roll with it or what have you. And I figured that's all that would come of it. But then he does this again and again. So I'm like, oh, geez, there's a problem here. And then stuff about, I didn't know anything about, him losing a job or whatever that's all about. And apparently that is the case. And so I thought, oh, well, okay. So now some of this is making sense. And now he's trying to do this streaming thing. And then suddenly you got Patrick Melton coming into your stream. And this has the potential of some immediate attention and whatnot. So you're getting more eyeballs on your stream, which you would want for this to work out. But at the same time, now you're in danger of becoming one of those characters that everyone just mocks relentlessly. And so I thought maybe it was that. And he was like, yeah, shit, how am I going to get out of this? And it was upsetting him and all that. Then, well, of course, of the back and forth with Melton, and then the element of Pat Dixon, because Karmic had been a frequent viewer and super tipper and all that good stuff. And so MLC gets him on there and, to exploit him even more so, in my opinion. And all that, that's pretty much the summary of the show. And apparently, I guess earlier in the day or whatever, did another show, and good old Ron Fuddle showed up, and I don't know. Somehow this results in Karmic confessing his secret admirer infatuation for the lovely Tess, the resident artist. And, well, I had no idea, and he seems really broken up about it and everything. And it's like, look, he's kidding, right? I mean, he's just doing this to do a bit, and if so, wow, what a sound, because it's like, geez, this is like Mr. Killed Everything all over again, except, Mr. Killed Everything and Mazzy actually dated, and they broke up, and it's all nasty now and stuff, and Kill Everything is still, I don't know, obsessed with this woman or what have you, but you saw a whole meltdown and everything. And one wonders, did Karmic see that and say, hey, wait a minute, there's a bit here? But as he goes on and on tonight, went on and on about that he, I don't know, he sent his script for a erotic comic book to Tass. I mean, that's how he made it sound, I think. And he says, "Oh, she thinks I'm a piece of shit because of this or whatever." Then Tass wrote, he wanted me to draw this big boobed woman, so I did. And that was like a year ago or something. I don't know. So the interpretations get a little muddled here, and that sort of thing. In today's day and age, despite the extraordinary technology that we possess today that makes the world so frighteningly small, and yet communication is something that appears to be dying, you know, because ultimately you only hear what you want to hear, I guess, and you need to hear what's actually said, you know. But anyway, I'm still at a loss to all of it because I mean, look, he's intoxicated and stuff, so it's going to be a little difficult to get it all. But it's I guess as of now, he wasn't kidding around. He really has these feelings for Tass, and I mean, Tass was in the chat going, "What?" And I just like, and look, I've been there. Yes, I've had very deep romantic feelings for women who did not feel the same way. But to make this grandstand thing in front of God and everybody, I didn't do that. You know? I mean, I talked to them. I was trying to make poor old Doug trying to bust the move, and she's just like, yeah, I like you. You're a cool guy, but I don't feel that way. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they say, hey, that's cool, that's great. And then you go home and all that. That's usually how that goes. But that's not how karmic rolls, I guess. And so, um, that's my crappy summary of the event. So, anywho, he went on and on about Tass and whatnot. And for whatever reason, somewhere this sparked the inspiration in me to draw a picture of Tass as the character Mary from the classic lovable romantic comedy, There's Something About Mary. Only this time, there's something about Tass. Of course, tonight she confessed her undying love for me. So there you go. That's that. Tass is off the market. I guess I got to get a ring and everything. But life should have such problems. So I don't, look, it's like I said, yes, I've been there. I've been all sad over a girl and that sort of thing. Um, but when you do it like this, it's like, look, I'm sorry, and I do feel bad to a certain extent, but geez, there's a certain fascination to it of this display, and I, I mean, well, first of all, you got to stop the drinking. I think it's expertise here to diagnose you with alcoholism. Oh, damn, what the hell? No, this uh geez. See, it's hard to think and do all this. No, that's not quite right. What am I? Oh, I didn't do the layer. That's what I didn't do. Yeah. Uh, Tass, this is all your fault. My bad. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're good now. But anywho, geez, that's kind of odd, huh? Uh, maybe maybe like this. Uh, maybe that like that. Shit, man, I really screwed this all to hell. Um, I'll just start over. No, not that one. This one. Dun, 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 dun. But just yeah, first Mr. Kill Everything, now this. Um, and I guess was it Pat or just someone in the chat said, "Man, you go on MLC and it it's cursed. It destroys you. You know, it even destroys Kevin. I mean, look at what's happened." Um, so, and at first he was going on, I said, "Oh, well, I guess does he mean like Tass was the only one in the chat being nice to him over all this?" And you know, because you know it didn't look good. And like, man, this guy needs to take a break. You know, it's really getting to him and all this sort of stuff. But no, he says he's been feeling like this a long time, and yeah, like I said, something about Tass. You know, yeah, I guess that'll work. Yeah, yeah. So I, hmm, I just, I'm sure it's not the first time. There's probably been people getting all liquored up on a live stream and just saying it out loud. There's some lady at work that you've known for years, and you just, I love you. I'm just gonna say it. I can't hide it anymore. And then, of course, it gets back to her. What? And then, you know, HR shows up. We need to have a little chat. Like, oh, damn it! Hey, I was kidding. No, you weren't. But, but here we go. You know, we have Mr. Kill Everything, who can't get over his ex girlfriend. Um, and then we have Karmic. And the thing about it is like, hey, I'm telling my truth and whatever and all that. And the, a Dabbleverse chat or what have you is just not the place to go for any kind of sensitive understanding and all that. Uh, and also Crown Royal. Does it give a rat's ass about your troubles? In fact, it's kind of like that South Park episode where all the kids at the fat farm are trying to lose weight, but then Cartman was like running a candy bar operation and smuggling that into the fat camp and selling it to them. And this one kid started crying about I'm never gonna lose weight. I'm always gonna be fat, and no one's gonna like me, and all this stuff. And then Cartman, well, you know who doesn't care that you're fat? Chocolate candy doesn't care. Chocolate candy is fine with you just the way you are. And so the kid, while he's crying, just starts eating the candy bar because you know Cartman's trying to make a buck. And chocolate candy, well, chocolate candy doesn't have any feelings. No, no, it doesn't. So same thing with Crown Royal. It's there to be drunk, and now so are you. Yeah, yeah. That's how that goes. So I I don't know. I mean, it's like he may have a different attitude, once he sobers up and stuff. But for how long? Um, I don't know. But they also just sitting there. Well, Felicia, you really opened my eyes. I just, good lord. Did she walk on water too? I mean, alrighty. There we go. There we go. Then, of course, it was all kind of fun, laughing about it. Well, Tess, you're quite the tease. But then again, I mean, she's got to be thinking, what the hell? So, poor Tess. All she wants to do is laugh at funny stuff and draw pictures, you know? And this I perfectly understand. Because, I mean, well, look what I do. I think it was, there's no other characters on the poster I saw. It was just Cameron Diaz, as Mary. No, I'm not going to show her hair stand straight up. Because I was thinking, oh, wasn't Ben Stiller off to the side or something? I guess I'm thinking of like, uh, what was it, the Woman in Red movie or something like that. Anywho, but gee, I hope this all works out, and Karma can feel better later. I don't know if maybe when he gets monetization, he's like, ah, good, it was all worth it, and then now I can do the channel I really want to do, and uh, I don't know. He starts an ASMR channel. I don't know. Uh, and but then that's probably the better outcome for everything. And everyone can just be all happy and satisfied, and life goes on. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, probably made those a little too dark, but whatevs, whatevs. It's good enough. That's the motto for my show. Good enough. Don't you think? I think you do. Oh yeah, I read that one. Uh. Oh wait, I better check to see. Nope, no super dips. Okay. Um. Pell. I saw the one with Virginia Madsen. Uh. Drive, was that the one? Or the haunting in Connecticut. I can't remember who was in it. I just remember that weird thing and all the bodies in the walls and stuff. And I think, I mean, there's tons of these, documentaries about haunted houses and stuff. And I think I did see one on that one, like, it was the real story. And some of that imagery might be influencing my memory of the movie. But anyway, Pell, it's not the time he's putting in, it's the drinking. Well, yes. Pell, that's what set him off about Melton. Speaking of possessed, Carm's head almost turned 360. Oh my God. Maybe is that going on too? Stealth Chaos, this is a very attractive portrait of the much sought over. Well, yes, see, there's something about her. Stealth Chaos, I heard he got stabbed in the back by a cool, sexy moderator. Oh, is that the deal? Stealth Chaos, who are you talking about, Doug? Chucky? Chucky? You mean the puppet from the horror movie? I was talking about Conjuring and stuff. Stealth Chaos, I know more all about this than anyone. I was directly involved. Surprised Pat did not have me on to make a report. I don't know. We were just watching the stream, and I don't know. I mean, I didn't know you did know all this. I mean, fellow, they actually met in real life. They actually met. Oh, you mean Mr. Kill Everything and Mazzy? As opposed to Carm and Tass. Nodak, the only thing that would have made it more awkward was if he professed his love for Doug or Pat. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Tass, you're going to have to take this one, Pell, that's like me confessing my love for Christina Hendricks, which, by the way, I do. Oh, yeah. Well, get in line. Holy crap. Sometimes it's hard to believe she actually exists, but she did. Yeah. Mad Men had to end, but God damn, was that a great show. And it helped that she was in it. Oh, yes. And I gotta stop for a minute. Golly, she was really, yeah. She had it all. Anyway, about poor Tass. What an awkward spot she's in. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you put it out there like that. You tease. Stealth Chaos. Nodak. He did state resentment about Pat since Tass respects Pat and not Chucky. See, I'm not sure who Chucky is. Stealth Chaos. Chucky doxed Tass like that without a second thought and subjected her to ridicule and unwanted attention without a second thought. He is a selfish and conceited little prick. So much for respect. I don't know who Chucky is. I didn't know about this. So, yeah, he shouldn't have doxed her. Well, he did a statement that he respects Pat and not Chucky. Pat, since Tass respects Pat and not. Well, whatever. I don't know what to make of it. So, I mean, yeah, screw the guy if he doxed her, Nodak, really, Stealth? Oh, God. Stealth says that Nodak, it's at about the 5th hour mark. I noted it. I wrote it on Pat Chat about 10 times, too. Well, I didn't see it either. So, Pell, me too. We all have, but some emotions you keep bottled. Well, after a while, it fades, That's the thing. And eventually, you meet someone else, and hopefully that works out. But, Stealth Chaos, he threw me under the bus, threw Tass under the bus, and then sat there crying for himself. Oh, well. Nodak then seemed to forget all about the crying on stream. Well, he's intoxicated, Hey, Doug, have you seen Adobe Max? It can turn any 2D drawing into 3D. Well, there's quite a few that'll do that. Yeah, but I don't care. I really don't. Pellel agreed, and Crown Royal is not the drink to help. Was typing when you mentioned it. Stealth Chaos, Frown Royal. Oh, is that the trick? Yeah. Hey, Thompson, I've never tried Crown Royal. Well, don't. Stealth Chaos, I've never touched whiskey. I cannot stand the smell. Hey, Thompson, hey, Doug, please don't block me. I don't even know how. It's too much work. Actually, it's not. It's, hey, look, these three dots. What can you do? Oh, fell out when she woke up this morning. This was probably the last thing she thought of happening. Yeah, it's funny how a day can have a surprise, isn't it? It's hilarious. Stealth Chaos. There she goes by the laws. Yeah, well, Pellel, that's what I told her. She wants to hang out, laugh, goof around, and draw, not be a part of some drunken drama. Yeah, one day you're just hanging out, laughing at cartoons, and the next thing you know, you're a character in General Hospital. Hey, Thompson, tell Dixon I'm sorry for the offer to help Felicia move into her new 5th floor walk up. Well, boy, after all that shit, that's what I'm. Unless if you think you really have some profound thought on Felicia or whatever, even if you do, I would just toss that aside and think of something else to talk about with Pat Dixon. It's if he wants to talk about it, that's his business. You can't really get it started or anything like that, and you just never know. And this particular thing with Kevin Brennan and all that pissed him off, and wasn't in the mood, you know. And but thank God for Karmic. That's what I say, you know. Because to tell you the truth, I didn't want to sit through that shit either. I don't care about MLC. I don't know why anyone else does. And anybody left believing that crap that Felicia spouts, there's no reaching them, and that sort of thing. And I don't care. I don't want to see this anymore, you know. And Karmic came through. Now it's bizarre and everything. I had no idea that it would go this way, but well, yeah. Hey, Thompson, you tell that Karmic Tass is mine, LOL. Yeah, she's mine. Nodak, maybe we can all have a good chuckle about this when we are at Tass and Karmic's wedding. Well, yeah, we would have a chuckle. Stealth Chaos, you guys, we need to get Nade Thompson unbanned. He is a pet super fan and a really good guy. Well, and, you know, maybe Pat will calm down and say, yeah, whatever. Stealth Chaos and Nodak, a good Chucky? Doesn't sound like it, you know. Hey, Thompson, I can't figure out what I did. I was just piling on. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, you just never know. But you remember, you know, a while back, you harped on Felicia stuff a lot. And so now you kind of got the Gillespie stink on you. And I don't know. You know, I'll make mention of it if he wants to unban you. If he doesn't, he does. It's his channel. There's not much I can do about it. But if he unbans you, I just, at least for that, there's probably something else he'll do that'll piss him off. but Felicia, what's the point anyway, you know? Stealth Chaos, I called Carmex a chuckle fuck the other day. I think I nailed it. He chuckles while he fucks? Nodak, I tried Stealth, but there are times I think Pat wants to ban me for a bad song request, LOL. Hey, Thompson, did Melton dox Karmic with super tip? No. A. Thompson, Dixon is mean as fuck to me. I am a fan and have been for many years. Well, we'll just have to see, but I don't know. A. Thompson, he didn't drink that much. Don't let him fool you. That was not from alcohol. Karmic is not a drunk. Well, he soon will be. He drank 1/5 of that bottle, and it was hard for him to drink it. Ah. So this is a work. Stealth Chaos, me, A. Thompson, and Nodak were mods on that toxic stream Chucky never thanked us once. Well, it's probably for the better, isn't it? I mean, Pel-L, oh, Chucky X, a.k.a. Oh, I didn't realize that he's... Yeah, see, I'm pretty slow sometimes. Hey, Thompson, it's a Clown Town reference. So Karmic doxed a Tass? Oof, yeah, you don't. They made Karmic X into a Chucky action figure. Really? Hey, Thompson, Doug, I'm here for the drawing. Can you demo out Adobe Max with this drawing? No, I cannot. Stealth Chaos, I love the part where he started insulting Gino Ab Pout, smelling of whiskey while drinking whiskey and smoking copious cigarettes. That dude is oblivious. Does Gino smoke cigarettes? I've only ever seen him smoke cigars. Donak, we could all be Doug's mods. Yeah, I got to think about that when I actually have a channel, but I'm really sucking at this so far. Rudy Baga, hey, all the cool kids are here. That's right. Stealth Chaos Tass was the one that asked me to intervene on his last meltdown. I turned that shit show into his most viewed stream. And then he forgot all about it the next day. Pel-L, hey, Rudy Baga. A. Thompson, he was talking about Felicia. The entire chat was. Singles me out every time. Well, yeah, but like I said, you had harped on her. Look, you were kind of obsessive about Felicia for a while. And I'm guessing it stuck in his crawl. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it was a number of things. And he just like, I've had it with this guy. And that was it. Rudy Baga, Pell was up. Pel-L Carm believing Felicia is just him agreeing to be accepted. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Stealth Chaos, I only watch MLC so I can send Carmax an insulting super chat. Oh, now, there's got to be better things to do with one's time. A. Thompson, I do not believe it. But it is funny, and you know it, Doug. That bloody tissue and pocket story still has me laughing months later. Well, yeah. Because it's nuts, A. Thompson, Dixon should have leaned into a few of those stories. Well, he did, but I mean, how many times do you have to tell a story, A. Thompson, Dixon mean as fuck. A. Thompson, Tass made it my job to play Felicia on Saturdays. What? Rudy Baga, we still don't know what car Felicia got, A. Thompson. I feel cheated. Well, she's got to be all incognito. The cactus will find her. Stealth Chaos, I would be worried about Carmax seeing our cheeky banter, but luckily he never, ever supports Doug's stream. Well, he doesn't have to. Hey, Thompson, I am only a mod for Comic because I wanted to see if I could run polls as a mod. It was just an experiment. Hey, Thompson, at Rudy, we were DP cheated. Rudy Baga, I know. All that time wasted. Stealth Chaos, Rudy Baga. Hey, Rudy. Rudy Baga says hell. Hey, Stealth Chaos, hope all's well. Stealth Chaos, it's been a pretty boring day, but now Doug is here, all is well. Well, good Lord, if the world's depending on me to come through. again, you know, the world's in pretty poor shape. Hmm. Oh boy, I don't know. Oh well, there we go. There's something about Tass, and it's well, there's just special women, all throughout history. Uh, you know, Helen of Troy, the whole Trojan War happened because the Trojans, the prince, what was it, Paris or whatever his name was, kidnapped her because he instantly fell in love with her. You see, that happens. And I don't know, Cleopatra damn near split the entire Roman Empire. It would later do it to itself, but at the time that was the case. Let's see, who else? I don't know. There's other. Well, of course, you go back to Eve, who condemned us all for violating God's one rule at the time. Now there's plenty. Uh, let's see, but yes, special important women all throughout history, and it looks like Tacitus will now be joining their ranks as she unwittingly captured uh, Karmic's heart. Yeah, yeah. But these things do happen, and there's really nothing anyone can do. I mean, it's often said you don't choose who you love. You know, it's not like they choose you. In fact, they almost never do. But it just happens that way. You're like, wow, who's that? Huh? Oh, that's just Tass. And then Karmic is like, oh, ooh, Tass. Stuff like that. I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know. A. Thompson, boring day? Well, it was at first, but not anymore. A. Thompson, we witnessed the most cringe stream in YouTube history. Oh, come on. There's got to be more than that. I mean, I'll get back to you on that. Rudy Baga, indeed, we need to chill out, Doug. Well, go ahead. Stealth Chaos, I like the bits where he insulted and threatened me for hours at a time. Chucky did. Pellel at A. Thompson, I've said that on prior days too. I think we haven't seen anything yet. Well, yeah. Rudy Baga, the face that launched 1,000 ships. Yeah. Yes. No pressure, Tass. No pressure at all. A. Thompson, that was messed up, Stealth. That'll teach you not to listen to Tass. Tass would just say, my bad. Even though I don't think that's entirely fair. Stealth Chaos, Paris equals Carmax. Watch your mod, Pat. Stealth Chaos at 8 Thompson, trust a woman to tempt you into a bad spot. 8 Thompson, I'm never going on his stream for any reason. Stealth Chaos, Tass, a Tuss. Yes. 8 Thompson, I thought Karmic was a nice guy. I never saw him drink for the first 100 streams he did. Oh, wow. So this is a recent thing he did. Huh. Stealth Chaos at 8 Thompson, you really have to wonder what happened at his work to make him lose his job. But enough said. Well, yeah, that is the only other mystery. Pell at A. Thompson, I think it is a nice guy. It is a nice guy, but a perfect example of how alcohol turns people evil. Pell is Stealth Chaos. I've mentioned that in other chats as well. A. Thompson, wait, someone doxed Tass? Stealth Chaos, Chucky is a very bad toy. Yeah, I wouldn't let that thing in my house. It's like the ventriloquist dummies and whatnot. I saw Twilight Zone. No, I don't. It's going to come to life and kill me in my sleep. That's what they do. And of course, the little creep will make it look all perverse and weird and stuff. And then everyone will like, "Guy, you think you know somebody?" And I'm like, "Damn it, I'm dead. I can't do anything about it." Pell A. Thompson doxed in the sense of getting put in that position. Oh, is that what? Well, that's not really doxing. I mean, he just, I love you. It's just, I mean, Tass has got nothing to feel responsible or bad about. I mean, it's just, I'm sure it's like, oh, I didn't see this coming and that sort of thing. But it's like there's some things you're better off keeping to yourself. You'll get through it. You do. Come on. A Thompson. Yeah, Carmick's phone was ringing off the hook. Really? Stealth Cast. Doug, he was drinking to grow some semblance of a personality. Oh, well, yeah, I've heard of that. That's what the Dutch courage, they call it. A Thompson, who doxed Carmick's phone number? Oh, did that happen? Stealth Chaos. Pat was very wise to keep Chucky at a distance all this time. It was like he knew all along. No, he just didn't think of it. Hey, Thompson, I wish I had his phone number, and I'd call him and tell him to turn the computer off. Yeah, but he wouldn't listen. Pell A. Thompson, now that I saw his personal info a few times in his chat by alts, most likely. Damn. So somebody's just dumping his info out there, huh? Stealth Chaos doxing equals shouting out her name to hundreds of weird chatters for hours on end. Well, yeah, but that's not. This is her personal address. This is her phone number and all that. She gets off work at this time or whatever. Hey, Thompson, we need to get Carmick a computer where he has to blow in it before he goes on. And the computer. I'm sorry, Carmick, but I can't allow you to stream today. You're not in the perfect frame of mind to do so. Then he breaks it and smashes it. Damn you. I'm a man. And then what? So that probably wouldn't work either, So, but yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the thing. You think he's so drunk that he will wake up hungover. What's all this? Let me see. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I let the cat out the bag. I don't know. Oh, man. But when all said and done, boy, is it done. Hopefully, he'll get better. And this, too, shall pass. It might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Pell says, ha, 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 ha. Stealth sends an emoji to Thompson. Stealth says, you're a funny fucker, Thompson, I will never go to Minnesota. Okay. What the fuck is in the water up there, Doug? Just water. Well, it does have hydrogen and oxygen. There may be other things, too. You just never know. Molecules and whatnot. But this tastes like water. Yeah. It fooled me. Doug's chat, best chat. Is it? Well, I'm no expert, so what do I know? Thompson, I thought NOLA was full of drunks. My God, Minnesota is fucked up. Oh, it is full of drunks. There's a lot of drunks. I just don't drink. So I witness all this stuff. I'm not in New Orleans, thank God. But there's plenty of that to go around. And, at the store, I did sell Crown Royal a lot. And we don't anymore. I don't know why. I did. All of a sudden, it was gone. I'm like, well, I don't care. They still come for it. You don't have any of the Crown? And I'm like, no. What the fuck? A. Thompson. Doug has the crown of the most normal person in the Dabbleverse. And that's saying a shitload. But anyway, I am going to try to pay attention to Hackamania. I paid for the live stream option, but I'll be at work as it goes. So I'll have to check in here and there. Hopefully, I'll get some ideas for cartoons as a result and do some of that. I'm still waiting on the word that the Doodleverse comic is available in the Indie Planet store. Soon as I get that, I will put that out, on X and everything, advertising that. And you'll be able to head over there and order your copy of Mr. Nailsin's Doodleverse comic #1, featuring all your beloved Dabbleverse characters. Well, all this blew up about Karmic, so I'll have to do that in the next issue and that sort of thing, which I already got one drawing. I guess I can put that in there and that sort of thing. But it'll be available there. And as soon as it is, I will advertise it. You can order a print copy or digital or both. Yeah. However you prefer. So anyway, that ought to be fun. And, just think of all the great things you got to look forward to. Is Crown expensive? They were different, like the big bottles were, but there were like 3 different sizes, I believe. It was like the little shots weren't too big. I'm trying to remember. Holy crap. Now I'm all upset and disturbed. Why can't I remember that? Stealth Chaos. Melton's minions were saying I was drunk as well, but I have drinking water only for weeks. You mean you have been drinking water only for weeks? Well, you're supposed to drink water all the time. Well, maybe not literally all the time, but at least a couple of times a day. Yeah. Hey, Thompson, Karmic is going to Hackamania. Oh, is he? Hey, Thompson, sorry. Is Karmic going to Hackamania? Nah, I doubt it, but sure, why the hell not? Stealth Chaos at 8 Thompson. It's middling, I think. Carfax said it was too expensive to drink too fast, but I guess that went out the window. Yeah. I mean, seemed like he had an empty bottle at the end there. Hey, Thompson, how many packs of cigarettes did Karmic smoke in 5 hours? That was making me call. That's another thing. Jeez Louise. Stealth Chaos at 8 Thompson. I'm going to discuss the new show that Karmic reckons I'm planning with Melton. Hey, Thompson, Karmic has the big butt. Yeah, he does. That's in fact, it looked bigger than the ones because see, well, I can't go into that. That's right. I'll be doxing myself. Crap. Well, anyway, it did look big. We had this one size, and then there was like not quite as small as a shot glass, but a little bit smaller than like a flask, version of it. There was Crown Royal and then Crown Apple Royal. I guess it had the apple cider in it or something. Anyway, big bottles, plural, says Stealth Chaos. Hey, Thompson, no offense, Doug. If they sell Crown in a gas station, is that good? That's a good point, Thompson. I don't know. I don't drink, but they seem to really like it. I sold a lot of it. Hey, Thompson, nah, I'm not with you on that, Stealth. He's had the same bottle for a few days now. So it's just tea. He fills it up with something or ginger ale or whatever. I don't think Crown Royal is top shelf. Well, no, it was always on the bottom shelf at the store. Literally. All right, my voice is starting to go. That'll have to do it for, geez, almost made 2 hours. Well, I guess I got to stick for another minute then. What kind of an animal would I be to suddenly leave with only a few seconds to spare? Crunch. But I gave you water. Why would you do this to me? Your pain is my entertainment. Oh, shit, I'm still alive. Now they're all going to know what I do to the former bottles. Hey, Thompson, he never finished it. Oh, the bottle. Pellel on stream, his bottle was almost empty. The next day, it was not as empty, but still not full. So he dusted one bottle and made his way through another. Stealth Chaos. Someone said he gets blasted on 3 shots. Oh. Can't hold the liquor. Hey, Thompson. All right, Doug. Let Tass know you never really loved her. I just can't. Tell Dixon I'm sorry. Yeah, I can do that. And please show me how to make 2D vector drawings 3D. Well, there's AI programs. It's probably not that hard these days, you know. I mean, I haven't really cared about Adobe in so long. I mean, the Photoshop I use is like probably getting close to 20 years now. Holy crap, yeah. No. Well, getting there. Anyway, and it does what I need it to do. So I'm like, well, who cares about all the other bells and whistles? And then you got to subscribe to it and all that. You know, I don't care. I'm a dinosaur, and I guess the asteroid's on its way. Stealth Chaos, we all needed a safe place to gather after today. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. I was just going to talk about Superman and stuff, and then color a drawing. But in the meantime, yes, Rudy Baga, I watched to the end. He finished that bottle. 8 times. Oh, geez. 8 times in Stealth, and I will be your producers, Doug. Well, there's no pay. Now they all go away. Rudy Baga, he tried to pour one last shot, and it was empty. He must have been crushed. A. Thompson Stealth made me a Twitter. What a sewer. Well, is there a social media where it isn't a sewer? Stealth, A. Thompson Stealth. Oh, no, I read that one. And then Stealth Chaos says to A. Thompson, crying, laughing emoji. There you have it. Yes. A. Thompson, he finished it today. A. Thompson, pay us in drawings. Well, yeah, I guess I can do that. Stealth Chaos, it's an awesome test drawing, Doug. Yeah, it's not bad. You know, sometimes I just whip them out laughing about it and stuff and not really taking it seriously. Those tend to be the best. If I concentrate on it, it falls apart. It's weird. Stealth Chaos, Kess, don't let Carmack see that picture for God. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. A. Thompson, the bad part about Carmack, when he runs out of booze, will be a drive away. It's country as fuck there. Oh, you mean like, yeah, it won't be that. Well, of course, he shouldn't be driving. I mean, bad enough he streams. I wonder if it's like within walking distance. You know, that could be the deal. Yeah, he's going to get a refresh. You know, he'll have more for tomorrow night's stream. So, you know, buckle up if that's what you want to take a look at. But anyway, I got to go. Thanks for watching and chit-chatting and, you know, all that good stuff. And maybe I'll be able to do one again soon. I just don't know at the moment. But when I do, I'll let you know. See, that's how that works. One after the other. Have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to you again soon.